nothing. Just let me introduce you to my students, and then you can take it from there. So we have with us today Professor Rozhan. As I said, he is the Professor of Open and Distance Learning and Technology. He has more than 30 years of experience as an e-learning technologist and analyst, consultant, presenter, workshop facilitator. You have given me a very long CV, and I have sent to everybody. They will read all about you, and I will spend more time. And you are right now the chair of e-learning or e-learning chair at the Open University Malaysia, OUM. So with that, Prof Rozhan, welcome to the session today. Just show us how it's done, the distance education way. All learning, we feel like we're just so lost also.
I think sembang boleh lah kot. I mean, we can have a discussion. I mean, whatever I sent was sent to everyone. I mean, I didn't put so much. I didn't prepare a specific slide actually because you said. It's okay. It's okay. Maybe I can answer more questions because I think you can. Okay, let me start. Okay, Assalamualaikum.
Everyone has a copy of your materials, so you can always ask them to refer. I'm going to mute myself so that you can have the screen to yourself.
Don't mute apa, as long as you don't say anything. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, everyone. Well, greetings from Malaysia. This is I'm 8:20 in Malaysia. Just inshallah now. So, but I will. So thank you for having me. Prof Rozhan said, can I talk to you about distance education? Yeah, I can share with you whatever I know, whatever I've experienced in open and distance learning in Malaysia, and also from my association with international bodies and institutions as well. Okay, so I also have the unique opportunity to do both at the same time. I was also teaching face-to-face lecture like everybody else, and I was also doing distance learning both at the same time in the same university and teaching the same courses. I teach physics, by the way. Yeah, I teach optics, vibration and waves, and classical physics, a few others. Never mind, but I teach physics anyway. So I was doing both. Teaching physics to the full-time student and also teaching physics by distance learning. So now distance learning or e-learning, no, I wouldn't say e-learning. Now distance learning is back to the mainframe because of COVID. Because of COVID, but everybody is talking as though distance education is something alien. It's not alien to me because I was doing it since 1986. I started distance learning in 1986. Okay, so 1986, you can imagine. You think there was internet in 1986? No. 1986, no internet. 1986, you think there was mobile phone? No mobile phone. Well, there was mobile phone, but then it's not used in education in any. They have the big, the Atur, ATUR, the big, like a briefcase, everybody knows you carry one hand mobile device, but it was not used in education as such. So let's start from whatever I send you some notes. I asked first question, why distance education? Why distance education? There must be a reason why this kind of concept comes out, because for anything, even if you want to create a new course in SQU, people will say, why do you want to create a new course? So there must be always a reason why you do what you do, why you introduce something new. So when distance, I wrote the question, why do you think are the reasons? I was expecting for someone to answer. Anybody want to answer? Anybody want to answer? Why do you think distance education cropped up many years ago? Is this a one-way traffic? Oh, I'm the only one talking. Or somebody else can just jump in and say something and go back out or something. No.
Prof Rosa, there was a request that can you speak slower because they want to capture all your information.
Okay, slower, right. Okay, I didn't see the chat. I didn't see the chat. Can you speak slowly? Okay, sorry. Okay. I thought of this normal for me. Okay, shall I start again from the beginning? No. Okay, I hope you got this brief document that I sent to Prof Raja. There's very basic outline. You don't have to follow that. If you have a question you want to ask, please ask. My job here today is to kind of facilitate for anything that you might want to know about distance education, something that you have read that you don't understand. Otherwise, I'll just kind of keep on talking slowly. Actually, distance education is not a difficult concept, but it is very different if you have only been doing face-to-face teaching. Okay, so then you will find distance learning strange because the way you do things is not the same anymore. But actually, it's the same thing you do. You do it you're not doing different things. You are doing things differently. Okay, so just get that too. So my question today is the first question I ask: why distance education? Why did distance education come up in the first place? Anybody want to answer? Can anyone answer? Turn on the caption. Just say something, whatever, or you can speak if you want, and then you can mute yourself. Shad and Nasri, you want to say something? Shad, okay.
Maybe it was difficult to offer the buildings and the physical materials for teaching.
Okay. You need to go back 200 years. You need to go back 200 years when the concept was first initiated. Why distance education was first introduced? Okay, it's okay. I'll keep on talking. A long time ago, there was a course offered by correspondence. The reason why this kind of thing exists was people do not always have the opportunity to come to an institution, not necessarily a university, maybe a school or college or university. So not everybody can come to kind of into a formal institution, like go to normal school, go to university. So the concept is, if you cannot come to the university goes to you. So the concept is you can offer courses where the student do not have to come to the institution. And before, long time ago, it was just very, very short courses, like 1 or 2 course on how to sew, course on how to do some life activities that's offered as a course, so people can learn without coming to university. But there are ways the course is designed. There are many reasons actually. Most reason, any other reason? Anybody can think of any other reason why distance, like, you know, when so this thing normally come when there is also a need. Then there is also a need for this kind of concept. So my point number 2 on my brief note to you is basically for adults who are already working. So when they are working, they cannot go to university anymore because they have to work to earn a living, to make money for their family. So like the full-time student, they are not working yet. So they are very happy in the university, you know, having a good time in the university. When the adult has to work, find money to support the family, you know, have children, maybe have to pay car loan or house, I don't know. Do you have car loan in Oman, or are the rich people no need car loan? Yes, car loan. Or house loan, you know, or, you know, you basically you need income. You need income. So you cannot leave your job. So, but you want to learn something. Maybe you want to get more knowledge so that you can get promotion and maybe get better salary. So there are people who are homebound, like maybe housewives, they are at home, they cannot leave to go, and maybe some people who are disabled, so they cannot move or go out, so things must come to them. So generally, like refugees, people who have no access direct to an institution, so this institution will come to them. In fact, if you can Google like military, the military uses a lot of distance education because they also run courses for soldiers. Yeah, so soldiers who are in the field, soldiers are in another country, so they still have used this technique in giving them knowledge and information. In fact, distance education is also used by many universities in the States in campus. This is not be confusing. Means, although they are on campus, certain courses are run in a distance learning format, which means to say there's no formal classes. Okay, but they will prepare the learning material. Students will get the learning material, will learn on their own, and they will have maybe 1 or 2 face-to-face classes for discussion. But for the rest of the time, students are on their own with the learning material. So you can also embed distance education in a university. And the students are on campus, the students are not somewhere else, but the technique is used so that, because in US, I think sometimes the timetable clash too much. Okay, to the point that some courses are run in an open distance learning concept on campus. Any questions so far? Is it contradict to anything that you have read or you understand? Or don't think about COVID yet. COVID not yet. Now just the basic concept of distance education first. COVID come later. Are we still okay? Are we still
So can that be called as a blended learning, early blended learning last time?
Blended learning is a different story altogether. Blended learning, okay, if you ask my opinion, there has always been blended learning. Okay, but the blend of 30, 40 years ago and the blend of now is very different because technology changes. Okay, so before you still use technology, but technology was very I won't use the word primitive, but before was old technology like audio tapes, videotapes, even film strips, film slides. So those are the kind of things that was used, I think, before in the late 80s. This was before internet existed. So there was also a blend, but the technology was old technology. Now we have new technology. Okay, so the blend to me is always there. Only it changes when technology changes. Where was I now? Okay. So the question number 2 is, who needs distance education? I say adult learning, people who are homebound, people who are refugees, people who disadvantaged, people who cannot come to an institution. Okay, so this is something that can utilize distance education. Okay, any question? Please, guys. Yes, Prof Rozhan Masnasi, please ask question. Please ask question. I'm here for you. Please ask question. Anything. No question is not good. Every question is good.
Yes, please. We brought Prof Rozhan from so far away, and if it's night time, you make sure we bother him. So please ask questions because we're not going to bring him again if you don't ask questions.
No, worry. I would love to be in Muscat, but I cannot be in Muscat. It's one of my.
You can come every week to my class.
No. I love Muscat. One of my favorite. I love Istanbul, Muscat. It's on my my list.
Inshallah, next semester you can come.
Yeah, sure.
When was the last time you were here, Prof Rozhan?
I can't remember, but I go there very often actually because conference. Yeah, I've been to Muscat, I've been to Salalah, I've been to yeah. Okay. Sure, no question. Everything still clear. So now, okay, class. Okay. So number one, I say why distance education? Something exists because there is a need. So there is a need for people to get some kind of education, some kind of knowledge without having to leave their home. Basically, that's how. Okay, so we're not going to go into detail of content, but basically the home come. Okay, now let's go to COVID for a short while. You will find that now because of COVID, Muscat have COVID.
Yes, more than Malaysia.
I don't hear anything in the. I hear in the CNN only US. I don't hear COVID from anybody else. But you have also COVID.
Yeah, we have more than 10,000, which is more than Malaysia.
Oh, okay. So what do you think has changed in terms of when COVID?
Even more than China.
What? Not serious, no?
I said even more than China.
Oh, okay. So you will notice something different when COVID comes. Okay. What different do you notice when COVID comes in terms of what things happen? You cannot go out. You cannot go to restaurant. Correct? So restaurant come to you, correct?
Yes, true.
So same thing, you're stuck at home, right? So so lessons have to come to you.
Yeah, the service is called talabat when they order food from outside to come to their home, and all the lazy students really love it.
Yeah. So it's same concept. Now you don't go to university, but university come to you. Basically, this same. Yeah, nowadays you can order anything to your doorstep. So the king of the road now are the Grab driver, the people who sell food. Nobody else can be on the road except them. No police cannot stop them because they are sending food. Okay, so I think if you understand the concept, you can appreciate the fact that the content comes to you, so you can so which means to say you save a lot of time, but again you can eat anytime. Okay, means so there's one keyword here that I want to ask if you can understand the keyword here. One keyword here. If you compare face-to-face and you compare distance learning, there's one word that can describe the change from something to something. Anyone want to give a chat? A chat pula. Some idea. There's one keyword, very, very important keyword.
Synchronous and asynchronous. Synchronous and asynchronous, Prof?
Yes. Now a lot of things very asynchronous. Okay. Wow, can give him a present, a prize. Good. Yeah. Because okay.
Prof, by the way, I'm under self-quarantine, so I can still follow the class.
Never mind. Yeah, by airways, no self-quarantine. Why? Because you just arrived, is it?
Yeah, 2 days ago he just arrived, so he's got 14 days to be self-quarantined.
I just arrived.
So now you have to order your food lah. Some people send food to you. Quarantine at home.
University quarters.
Yes, home guarantee.
Yeah,
We got
in
my home. In University accommodation, I got Prof Fauzi cooked for me, and Prof Rajamazna cooked for me also. Alhamdulillah.
Good life, isn't it? Good life. Okay. Okay. So the word is because let's jump the gun a little bit because let's just have some discussion. I think you all know the basics of distance education. Now let's jump the gun a little bit because I'm going to compare the problem that people face now from face-to-face to, they call it remote emergency. Right? You use the same term in Muscat, remote emergency?
We use remote emergency remote teaching, ERT.
Same lah. Although I cannot understand why it's remote emergency. One, I think you're laughing at them using that concept, correct lah? Emergency means something happened. If the same thing happen over and over again, it's not emergency anymore. Correct. And remote, what's remote? Remote is so relative. What remote? What is remote? 1 kilometer, 100 kilometers, 1,000 kilometers? It's not remote actually. I wrote something in my blog. There's nothing to do with remote. What's the word? It's not remote, but what's the word? Anyone? Let's see if we can get this right. From campus to out of campus. So what's the word? It's not remote. What's the word?
Distance.
Yeah?
Distance, I said.
No. Distance, again, distance is also relative. It can be 1 kilometer, it can be 10 kilometer, it can be 1,000 kilometer. What's the key issue here? If you compare face-to-face and now no longer face-to-face. So what's the keyword here?
Prof Rozhan, you must remember most of the students will always type their questions. They won't turn on the mic.
I'm looking at the type. Some people say off campus, some people say virtual, some people say ER. So what's the keyword here that you must understand? What happens between
physical attendance?
Sorry?
Physical attendance.
Physical, yes, but not attendance. Physical. What happens now is the keyword here is, I cannot type inside here. The keyword here is separation. You are now separated. You are not separated. You are no longer in campus. You are now separated from your institution. You are not separated from your lecturer. You are not separated from everything. So this is when your problem starts. Okay. So I teach physics. I talk about frame of reference. You understand frame of reference? A reference frame. So when you are on campus, you are in the frame of reference of on campus, which means to say everybody is looking at the same thing. You have the same computers, you have the same library, you have the same facilities. Now, when you are no longer on campus, you are out of campus, your reference frame is really different. Correct? You are in your own home. You are already separated from the library. You are already separated from the computer. So now the reference frame is already destroyed, finished. So this is what happens when now everybody going online. Not everybody have online capability. So this is when your problems start. Because when you go online, and this is very important, I always ask people, why online? Anybody want to answer? Why online? Why online? Who decided that we must go online? sorry. Just discuss lah. We discuss. Who decided we must go online? Because there are guidelines when you want to use technology. When you want to use technology, the first principle is everybody must have the same technology. Everybody must have the same facility. Once somebody does not have, then it's destroyed. You can't do it. So why I'm not sure who decided we have to go online. And then you get reports of students, 60% of students do not have online, 50% students do not have bandwidth, 45% students. Then why do you bother going online? Okay, my problem is, I'll answer the question. What do you want exactly? Exactly, what is it that you're after? Are you after trying to teach or you are trying to go online? Very different thing. Okay, I will answer you after. I will answer Adele. Adele, I will answer you in a while. You know? So I always ask people, what do you want? Do you want online or do you want to be able to teach? To be able to teach doesn't mean you have to go online all the time. There are many ways of reaching your student, you can give them a self-instructional text module. You can send them an audio tape. You can nowadays you can put some notes on your memory stick and send to the student. So there's no need to go online. So why do you want to go online? This is a question I ask all the time, but people cannot answer. People say, "Oh, now everybody go online, so we go online." Okay, so you face your problem lah. So this is exactly what I'm trying to. Can we consider distance learning as a more successful learning rather than face-to-face? I have been in the business for 30 years. I say yes. You see, if you compare face-to-face and distance learning, Prof Halim says from synchronous to asynchronous. When asynchronous, okay, example, I give you an example, a very simple example. When you go to your lecture, when you go to your, Prof, I won't say pros and cons. I don't like pros and cons because it is what it is. You see, face-to-face can only do this much. E-learning can only do this much. So there's no such thing as pros and cons because sometimes you need to put a few strategies together to make it work. So face-to-face is not everything, online is not everything. So sometimes you have to mix. That's why you got a blend. So you use the best of both worlds. Okay. So example, if you go to a lecture, you go to a lecture, you lecture 1 hour. That is the first time the student is listening to your lecture. Correct? In the same time, they have to understand your lecture. Or they have to listen and really understand your lecture. Okay, do you think that will happen? And at the same time, they have probably to copy your lecture. So you are asking them to do 3 things at the same time. Listen to you, copy your lecture, and understand your lecture. I think I found out in the last 30 years, never happened. Never happened. So if you send this content to the learner, you know, they can read the content and after discussion, okay, if you miss the lecture, let's say student miss your lecture, okay, so student will borrow lecture from his friends or maybe get your PowerPoint. So what do you think happened after that? If you get the lecture from your friend, if the friend writes some rubbish, you also but if you get the PowerPoint from you, the lecturer, do you think the student can understand your PowerPoint? Because when the student get your PowerPoint, there is a very big element missing in the PowerPoint. What is it? You. The lecturer is missing. That's why sometimes people say, I upload my lecture in the LMS. Big deal. You upload your PowerPoint. Same PowerPoint that you teach in class. In class, you were there to teach the PowerPoint. When you put the PowerPoint in the LMS, you're no longer there. Students see the PowerPoint just like seeing something unknown. They can read, they cannot understand anything. Correct? This is basic. So when you want to put in PowerPoint, your LMS, you must tweak a little bit so that the PowerPoint that they are looking at can teach. Otherwise, it's pointless. I keep telling this to people, but people don't want to listen. Never mind. Until I retire, they want to listen. Okay, so so distance learning gives a lot of opportunity for repeated learning, for more time to do exercises. You have a 1 hour tutorial. You do 3 questions. You think that student understand all the tutorial questions that you did in that 1 hour? I don't think so. Then I challenge you. When the exam comes, surely some student will pass. Surely some student will get variation. Why is that? And you only find out at the end of the semester how much the student understand or how much the student don't understand. So when you do distance learning, it gives a lot of opportunity and time to learn at your own time, at your own pace, repeated learning. You have time to do some discussion with your friend, some more time to do exercises, you know. which doesn't happen in face-to-face. You know, after so many years, I can see the big difference. You know, in face-to-face is very immediate. When distance learning gives you time to digest, to learn the same content many times. Like I said, if you miss a lecture, that's it. You have a problem catching up, understanding, and if you get the chance to meet your students, your lecturer, he's busy. He go to conference. So after 30 years, I find that distance education works. It works, but the design must be very good. So it's not like just giving notes. You must give notes because the content that you give to the student, the distance learning, like module, some call it modules, some call it self-instructional text, which means to say the text must be written in a way that when the student read the text, it's just like you talking to the student. So it's not a textbook. So it must be written in a way that there is some kind of interaction, communication, lot of examples. I give you a very simple example. If you buy a microwave oven, a very modern looking microwave oven, they come like a box. You don't even know what to push. It comes like big box, big black box, you know, very sophisticated microwave oven. Tell me, what is the first thing you look for?
Guideline, information, catalog.
Okay, you look for?
Yeah, we look for the catalog, the instruction, how to install it.
Instruction, okay, very good. Because without instruction, you cannot do anything. You don't even know what to push.
True.
You don't even know how to change the time. So,
yeah.
Have you seen what the instruction book looks like?
So like a brochure?
Yeah, the instruction must give you knowledge, what to do, what to teach, what to press. Yeah, it gives you very detailed
guidelines.
Yeah, it gives you a lot of what to do, what not to do, check the plug, press this, press that. This is the same way you must design your content so that the learner can follow what you are trying to teach, what is good, what is bad, give them examples, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so sometimes it happens in class. But when they are separated, what you say in class must not be on paper or video or audio or website, whatever the case may be. So the design instruction becomes very crucial in terms of distance learning. I'm sure it works. If the course is designed well, it works. Definitely. And now with technology, there are so millions of resources for you to use. I send in my notes one animation, very interesting animation on pendulum. Actually, as a resource, you can find so many resources already available on the internet that you can use. You can find animations, you can find simulations, you can find things that you can use as long as you don't take other people's work and say it's yours. You know, there will be plagiarizing. You can use some other people's resources. You say this one is from Dr. Halim from SQU, blah, 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 you know, it's okay. And I think other academics are also very happy if you use their content to teach. And there's nothing wrong with that, okay? So you don't have to learn everything from scratch because there are too many resources that you can use already. Yeah, like I said, distance education and regular education, same efficient. Yes, I would say distance education more efficient. I tell you why. Because the student and the learner are separated. Okay. There is another very strong keyword that you need to understand where distance education or ODL is concerned. If you can second guess this other very strong keyword, You see, because when you are on campus, a lot of things can be done immediately. You can talk to the student, okay, tomorrow class cancel. No problem. Or tomorrow we have additional class. Okay. Okay, you can send notice put on the notice board. Okay. So when you are separated, this thing doesn't happen. You want to put notice board. There's nobody on campus, everybody at home. You cannot cancel a class just like that. You cannot add the class. So what is the keyword here in terms of distance education or open and distance learning? One very strong, asynchronous is one, the other strong keyword. Anybody can say. Immediacy, Prof, immediacy is lost. When you are already separated, there's no more immediacy. Immediacy is gone. So what is the new keyword here? No. What is the new keyword here? Asynchronous is one keyword. The other keyword is everything must be done like this. Anyone? Preparation. Yes. Yeah, but out of 10, I give you 6 marks. Okay. Everything. No. 7. Okay, part A. 7. Okay. No. Okay. The keyword. The next keyword is I write down. I write in the box is lawan. Almost lah. Okay. In distance learning or open distance learning, everything must be prepared in advance. Okay. Because the students are not there. So what happens if, in my experience in USM, when the student register, they get a kit. This happens all over the world. Same. When the student register on the first day, even in face-to-face, you normally get some kind of kit. Okay, I don't know what you get in face-to-face kit. Maybe you get your timetable, class timetable. Maybe show you where your cafeteria. But in distance learning, when the student register, after that they will disappear. They will go back to their own house. Okay, so what you need to give them must be given there now in advance. In fact, we will prepare an academic planner. Okay. In the academic planner, already all the course content, the syllabus, it will also contain the dates of your first test, the dates of your second test, the amount of content that will be tested in the first test, amount. Okay, your assignment is also given. When is the date to send your first assignment, second assignment, third assignment? Okay, and from the lecturer standpoint, you have to prepare your assignment early. You have to prepare your even test question early. In fact, even your exam question must be prepared many months in advance because it has to be prepared, it has to be typed, it has to be stored, because it has to be sent to the regional center. Okay, so which is very different from face-to-face. Correct? Because let's say vetting is 2 weeks time. When do you think you will prepare your exam question? The night before? Or maybe after the vetting also you still prepare. Correct? No, I've been a lecturer, I know, I don't, so, you know, I so. But I assure you, because I was in distance learning, it made me very organized. So even when I was teaching face-to-face, my exam question was ready. My assignment was ready. My test question was ready. So I have a lot of time to do other things. You know, so it teaches you to be very organized. Otherwise, you always you do things last minute. Sure. You don't bluff me. Always you do things last minute. Yeah, only when you get notice, to make exam question, only you make exam question. Okay, otherwise you won't. But in distance learning, things must be done in advance. Everything done because students are no longer there. I give you another simple example. If in an exam, if in your on campus, if there is something wrong with the exam question, you can repair the exam question on spot because everybody is in the same. But in distance learning, they are in all over the world. Well, maybe over the world, all over Oman, maybe. So if there's a small mistake in the exam question, you let it go. You either omit the question or you give them extra marks because there's no way for you to correct that question on the spot. So this is how things run in open and distance learning. My colleague probably said, okay, the practical application. Okay, practical application of, I don't understand. Is this the practical side of is it the practical side of like physics? They have physics lab, engineering, they have engineering workshop. Is that what you mean? If that's okay. So in distance learning, you also have some residential requirement. Means in the whole year, they will need to come to the campus for maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Yes, this happens in the whole world, even Open University UK. So in that time is when you do all the labs. Okay, so some call it annual residential period. Some call it intensive course. That maybe 2-3 weeks. They will come on campus, and so that's the time they do the labs. Either that, or sometimes the university will joint venture with another nearby university, so that's where the students do the labs. Okay, so there are many ways of doing it. For okay, wait. Name, pedagogy, salah. Okay. So, to me, after being in distance learning, I can see many advantages because by distance learning, the design of content is different. The design of content is going to modular. You can put pieces together. You can design content. You break it up into chunks of because it's like this. If this, you can refer to one picture I send inside. I say in the USM distance learning printed modules. There's a picture which says under point number 4, learning facilitation. There's a picture of this in the University of Malaysia distance learning printed module. There's a picture there. You get a picture. It's a colored picture. Ada. I think lower. Yeah. That picture shows you all the modules or the printed text sent to the student. So if the student is taking about 4 courses, they will have about this high, this high of material to take home. They normally take with a big bag. So these modules are not printed like a textbook. It's printed like just a staple. So what students do normally, and what I also do, I will break it up. I will break it up into chapter by chapter by chapter, so that when you go somewhere, you take only that chapter to study. You don't take the whole book. Yeah, which is very different from the face-to-face. You have to carry a few books with you. The whole book, the whole 400-page book, but you only want to read 3 pages. Okay, so in distance learning, there are many ways to kind of break up content into small parts. You can even in the design, you can design into very small parts, and those small parts can actually be combined with maybe other courses to become a new course. So very versatile design concept. Also in distance learning, you can number 3, solution, overcome physical distance, solve time or scheduling. You can have more people. Yeah, one course in class you can only maybe in a university the class maybe at most 100, 200. Now one course you can have 1,000, 2,000. In fact, you know MOOC, MOOC? Yeah. What's the biggest number of one class, one MOOC program? Is that what's the biggest number of one MOOC offering? Take a wild guess. Prof, you type what do you ask about COVID? What do we do? I don't understand.
Oh, that was when we were talking about the lab. When you
The
said
lab.
that, yeah, they can still meet in the normal distance education. They do meet a couple of
Okay.
times a year.
Okay.
But now with the COVID, I guess that is also out of the question, right?
Okay. I
That's what I wanted to know.
I would like to share with you my daughter in Melbourne. She is doing medical technology program. So this year she's supposed to be attached to a hospital. So because of COVID, she cannot go to the hospital. But the hospital has arranged for online discussion and simulations. They also use virtual reality. So this is where technology kicks in. You know, you can actually design some kind of. Hey Ali, mashallah, Ali Musawi join. Yeah. I just watched it.
Assalamualaikum. How are you? Okay, brother.
Brother. This is my twin brother, my Oman. Thank you for joining. Yeah. Alhamdulillah. So how are you?
Fine, doing well, and always asking about you. Hope you are fine and everything is okay in Malaysia.
Yeah. Alhamdulillah. Yeah, we are still wear mask, but everything looks okay. So okay, I can relate back to my daughter's. So the university prepare for her simulations of the lab session that she has to do, and also where they have online discussion, and they also have elements of virtual reality. So this is the kind of thing that must be done. Okay, because you cannot do it in the normal way anymore, but the content must now be kind of redesigned for this kind of, and because the technology is there now. You can design simulation, you can design animation, you can design things where you can change the parameters and you can see what it changes, and you can also now do use virtual reality. I wouldn't, no, augmented reality. I wouldn't go to virtual reality yet. If you can afford virtual reality, go ahead. So there are now many ways to do it, but it takes time to actually tweak it a little bit. But that's why you have technologies to assist you. I don't expect the lecturer to do it themselves. But it can be done. It can be done, and it has been done. My daughter said, she's enjoying it. We are not compromising the education, but now it has to be presented in a different way. It has to be presented in a different way, and now we have the technology to support to do all those things. You can Google, you can find so many animations, so many simulations already available for you, but you have to do some homework in finding all those content. I like the pendulum that I showed you in my example simulation. This is for TVET, the technical vocational education. This pendulum experiment is so interesting. You can couple, you can see energy exchange, movement. You can change the line, you can change the angle, you can even change gravity. And it's hooked to an oscilloscope. So there's so many ways, and that you can learn from only this one animation. Even in especially in medicine now, there are so many videos, there's so many demos that shows you a lot of procedures, and same with engineering. I'm sure you can find the relevant content, but you must do some homework. You can find it. I assure you. I found so many very, very good physics simulation, physics animation. You don't have to, this is not 20 years ago. 20 years ago, you have to learn all those HTML, you have to do your own macromedia director. Now, forget it. Now, you don't have to know all that. You can find so many resources for free. 200k apa 200k tu apa? What's a 200k? You type 200k, what's 200k?
You were asking earlier about what's the largest number of MOOC
Oh, no,
students.
no, 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 no,
200,000.
no, 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 no,
Yes.
no. I will type the answer so that you will faint. 1.2 million students all over the world following one MOOC.
More, my goodness. All right. So
Yeah.
more than 200.
Yeah.
That's
So this is the power of this kind of asynchronous. You can reach everybody in the world, no matter what time they are. They can reach document, and they can come from discussion anytime, because you can, when the board is on, anyone can input on board, no matter where they are. So but everybody can enjoy the discussion anytime, anywhere, and put feedback and other people. So this is the asynchronicity that becomes so beneficial. So you're not confined in terms of space and time. You do not have to be in the same place at the same time. You can be in the same place in a different time. You can be in different time in different place, or different place, different time. It doesn't matter, as long as if you use internet, you must have connectivity. Otherwise, you don't talk about it. But you may not have internet in your house. Maybe you can go to a cyber cafe or a friend's house who have internet. So there are many ways of doing it. But when things are pre-planned, pre-advanced, you know when things are going to happen. So you can make provisions. Okay, now I know. Like now there's a class in Oman. So you make plans. Yeah. So this is the magic of advanced planning. You can plan for it. You know when to go. So you cannot say, we have a class tomorrow. No, you must say we have a class 2 weeks from now or next week. Then people will plan for the class. So this is advanced planning. And when you plan for the class, you must also give them an agenda. Like I give you some notes beforehand. So teaching now in the COVID kind of concept has become a flip concept. It has become a flip concept where you actually give them something to read first, then you come for discussion. It's not like when you go to class. Like I said, when you go to class, that's the first time the students see your lecture, see your notes. When I send you these notes, if you read, if you don't read, I can't help you. But if you read, you already know some idea, some initial idea. Maybe you also can prepare some question, or if you don't want to prepare, we have some discussion. Never mind. So at least you're not just looking at these notes for the first time. So this gives a lot of more room to digest. Salim, how you plan to face? Okay. Right. So to me, distance learning has taught me to do things in so many good ways, better ways. I won't say better than face to face, but it complements. And when you have like the self-instructional module, self-instructional text, although it's meant for the distant learning student, even face-to-face student can use. Even the lecturer also use, because it's written in a way that you can read on your own. And there are many worked examples, there are structured questions. So you don't waste time showing your 10-year-old notes. You just use the content and you add more activities. You add more activities, more discussion, breakout groups, give them tasks, make them very, do some experiential learning concept, do some project-based concept, ask them to. I share with you a few things that I do in my class, because when I was in USIN, I'm back to face-to-face teaching after almost 30 years of distance learning. So I embed a lot of distance learning in the face-to-face teaching. So this is what I do. I ask students to, after each lecture, I ask the students, I break them up into groups, about 3 or 4 per group. If it's a small group, they don't break it up. To create a multiple choice question. One multiple choice question at the end of the lecture. Okay, you think it's easy to make multiple choice question? It's not easy. You know? You have to find the right answer, you have to find the wrong answer. Whatever the case may be, they have to read. Okay, then this is not at the same time, this is some other time. Sometimes I ask them to do a frequently asked question based on the lecture that they have finished with feedback. Okay, then I also ask them to do, after maybe 3 lectures, I ask them to create a crossword puzzle based on the last 3 lectures that they have gone through. And this can be done by distance learning. This doesn't have to be face-to-face. This can be done when the student are at home. The student know how to connect with each other. They have WhatsApp group, they have Telegram group. Don't worry about them. They are very good at technology. You just give them tasks, they will do. Okay. Ask them to create crossword puzzle. In fact, very simple. You go to internet, you use free crossword puzzle generator. You will get it. Okay. And all they need to do is fill out the vertical column, fill out the horizontal column, and then you can make the question. So in a way, you ask them whether to do multiple choice question or frequently asked question or puzzle. They have to read. They have to read to make those questions. And for my final year student, a little bit different. For my final year students, because it so happened that the reference book that was given to them on material processing was 10 years old. Don't tell this to the university. I retired, so nothing will happen to me. Don't worry. So what I asked them to do, final year normally not many students. I only have 24 students. So I broke them up into 8 groups of 3 students. And it so happened there were 8 topics in that final year. So I gave 4 groups. No, I gave each group 2 topics. Okay. So for each topic, they have to find for me 20 latest research papers on that topic and write a brand new chapter based on those 20 research papers. Okay, so every week they will come and they will present what this is where I teach. When they come every week, they will present whatever they have already gathered so far, and I will ask, you understand? Sometimes they don't understand. I know. We also know they don't understand. Sometimes they just cut and paste. So it's our job to explain to them, this and that. So by a certain time, everybody completed their task. So all the new chapters are ready. That will be the new book for that course. That's where the exam question will come from. In fact, I asked them to make exam question this way. Of course, I will vet. I will see whether it's good or not. Sometimes some question good, I will use. But at least they have the opportunity to actually co-learn and co-create. We talk about learn, unlearn, relearn, co-learn, co-create. So they take part in terms of. You have no idea how much new things I learned. How much new things I learned from what they have written, because it's the latest research papers. I don't have time to read so many papers. I don't have time to teach so many new papers. So they compile, they write chapter, and they have to read each other's chapter, because that's where the exam questions will come from. And I think it works. This is for final year students. Final year students, I think you can do. It's very enjoyable. Every time they come, when they present, I buy some Kentucky Fried Chicken for them. We make it very, very nice. They are final year students. You treat them like final year students. You don't treat them like first year students. We give them some mileage as final year students. So I think it works. It works face to face. It works distance learning. It's a concept of research-based teaching. It can work. You just have to be clever at how to kind of design activities that keep them motivated and exciting. Yeah, and then even the for the puzzle, the best group who make the best balanced puzzle will win 100 ringgit from me. You know, my money, not university money. Something small to encourage them. You know, students 100 ringgit in Malaysia is big. Okay, they can do a lot, but you have to divide by three. The three of them, $30 each or $35. Okay. Yeah. In fact, in order to run away from plagiarism, the assignment is presented as a poster. So they have to display the poster, and I make it like an open day that all other physics students can also come and listen to. They have to stand beside the poster. There is to explain, and again, the best poster wins 100 ringgit. So I think this not so much as the content, is the activities that kind of make them remember, you know, the content. Learning by doing, learning by talking, learning by demonstrating, learning by creating content. Subconsciously they learn. You know, you want to make exam question, you want to make multiple choice question, you have to read. There's no way to run. Even if the question is a stupid question, they still have to read. You know, it's not about the big good question, but it's in the way to encourage them to actually read and discuss with their friends, you know, and get rewarded. So it doesn't sound so laborious in terms of reading. Okay, I've gone too far away from all this. And I would like to come back to something interesting. At number 6, I said types of distance learning system. There are 3 types of distance learning system: the single mode, the dual mode, the mixed mode. The single mode is a full-fledged open and distance learning institution. Okay, they only do ODL, or distance education, like the Open University Malaysia. You have the in India, the Indira Gandhi National Open University. In Turkey, you have the Anadolu University. In Canada, you have Athabasca University, Open University of UK. These are 100% open university. Okay. Dual mode is very popular in Australia, in Africa. Dual mode means the course has 2 modes. The course is offered face-to-face. The course is also offered by distance learning. Okay. So in order to understand this, I give you example of maybe McDonald's. Something like McDonald's. Same food, same kitchen, but you can eat in the restaurant or it can be delivered to you. Okay, very simple to understand. Okay, but when you eat in the restaurant, you take a tray, take the food, okay, and then sit down and eat. But when the food is sent to you, the rider cannot send to you on a tray. So the packaging changes. Okay, they put in a box, they put in a food warmer, your ketchup, your sauce are all packaged. Okay, so if you can imagine this, when you are teaching face to face, your packaging is different. When you have to send your content to the student, the packaging is different. You have to be written in a self-instructional manner. You can send them, you know, bits and pieces. You can send them by memory stick. You can send them in the LMS. You can post. So if you can use this metaphor, you can see the difference between. Okay, so you can choose to eat in the restaurant or choose to be delivered to you. When you deliver, you need a rider to deliver to you. So you know, so when you use when you do distance learning, you need a medium to send to you. So we use online, or we use whatever means necessary to get the content to you. It doesn't have to be online all the time. It can be anything. Like I said, even a pen drive or memory stick, as you call it, can be sent. People, or even a CD. You can put on a CD, send to the student. So all the student as playback. Okay. Mixed mode is when very unique. Mixed mode means both modes exist in the institution, but you can mix. This is very popular in Australia, Deakin University, Murdoch University, which means to say you can enroll first year face-to-face. Second year, you can do by distance learning. Okay, it sounds a bit weird, but it's a continuous, it's a same curriculum, it's just a continuity, but it presented in two modes. Because in Australia, most of them pay for their tuition fee. Sometimes they have less money, they go by distance learning. And they have more money, they come back to go face-to-face. And they still finish on time. There's no difference in terms of a time frame. So these are the kind of things that can be done as far as distance learning is concerned. I put there the last slide is technological assistance. You know, when you talk about distance learning, especially now, last slide, I think, last picture, technological assistance. Now there's a lot of technology. There's a lot of technology that can assist you. Yeah, you can use timeline software. Have you used timeline software? Timeline software use a lot of reporters use timeline software. Timeline software you can also use as a teaching mechanism. So in the timeline software, you can upload text, video, whatever, and you can follow the time. This is also very good for research. You can also follow the time. Okay. Actually, you can also ask the student to do video, because in your computer you have video editor or movie maker. Very simple, very fast. Okay. You can also use the concept of curation. You can also use the students to help you find content. You create a portfolio and give them some keywords, find content, find videos, and populate that portfolio or repository. Okay, so you can share a lot of content relevant to the topic, you know, so it makes learning very interesting. Some people can bring some video, some students bring in some animation, some people bring some simulation, and you can also use it as your repository for next can be done. Use of collaboration tool, use of Padlet. I think these are very simple, like a virtual notice board. You know, again, you can put student 1 minute video presentation on the notice board, and everybody else can see the presentation. There's a lot of tools to help, actually, whether you are face-to-face or whether you are distance learning. There are nowadays too many tools to help you. You just have to spend some time. And like I said, the student can assist us in kind of searching for content. They will be happy that they are part of the learning experience. Okay, but there must always be some reward. Their students are students. They like some reward. We also like some reward. No harm. Okay. Give them some reward. There's another thing that I also did. Especially for my final year students, I like to send them out to go to conferences, especially conferences that kind of made by other universities for their students. I kind of collaborate with fellow physics lecturers in UPM, Prof CD, so if they do a kind of a small seminar, I ask my student to join. The joining is not just joining to go and listen. Joining means when they come back, they have to do a reporting, what they listen, what they learn, and present. So make it into very interesting, you know, or you can between lecturers in different universities design something like that, and so that the student actually move around a little bit, not just confined to one university, you know, based on topics, so they can learn. Listening from other lecturers, and so on assignment based, they can come back and talk about what they learned from the visit or something. So make it to a very experiential learning concept. You know, learning doesn't mean to be doesn't have to be boring. So there's a lot of things that I learned from distance learning that I even use in my face-to-face, and something in face-to-face that I also use in distance learning. So it's a complementary, because our objective is the same. Our objective is to educate, and although we have different strategies, but these strategies can complement each other. Okay, I benefit a lot from face-to-face. I also benefit a lot from distance learning, and I can marry both in terms of So if I have to go on a conference somewhere, I prepare a CD even for my face-to-face student, and my CD also for my distance learning student, just play back on the video conference. So it's kind of a interesting academic kind of experience, you know. But the problem now is because when you are so used to just teaching face-to-face, when you have to go online, you find it to be troublesome because you have to make content, you have to make exam question anyway, you have to make assignment question anyway. So like I said, it has made me more organized because I do it in the beginning of the semester, although it's a face-to-face. So when they ask for my assignment questions, it's ready. When they ask for my exam questions, it's ready. You know, and because those things are already ready, I got time to do other research. I go here, I go there, you know. So I think it's a very good experience for us. So distance learning is what is different from this thing? What is great assessment rubric? Okay, active learning, right chapter. What is a talabat delivery?
Grab food here.
Okay. Okay, learning done, not learning done. Then the learning is also colon. The student colon. You know, well, yeah, not done, but the student help to bring some content. Then you discuss the content, because I'm sure when the student were writing the new chapter, there are things that they don't understand. They just cut and paste, you know. But it's your job, our job to explain, and that's where the teaching part comes in. You know? By the end of the day, you get a good chapter, and they write like a proper chapter. Like a proper chapter with I didn't bring example, a proper chapter with title, blah blah blah, but it's a summary of the 10-20 research papers, the latest on the topic, or as latest as can be. Sometimes it's not so latest, but at least 20 research papers. You have to list out the papers at the back and then the content, so it becomes very nice actually. So I learned a lot from them, as much as I hope they learn from me. Yeah. So there's some sharing some experience. Anyone want to say anything? I've been doing too much talking, I think. Anybody want to say something? Prof Ali, when do you retire? Are you anybody? Hello, anybody? People still here?
Yeah, I am coming towards retirement, hopefully within another, I think, 11 months. So next birthday, that will be 11th August 2021.
That's so far.
Retire. So I'll be 60 years old.
Okay, mashallah. I'm already almost 62.
Very young man.
Alhamdulillah.
But still, I am promised to have the chair. So hopefully, if we get it, maybe within a month time, and it is open, then inshallah there will be some cooperation with your also, and with our counterparts, especially you, inshallah, in Malaysia. So be prepared.
Yeah.
Offer us some expertise, and
No problem. Inshallah. No problem. I look
There's
forward.
This question was which jump to my mind while you are speaking about our present I don't know, is it issue, dilemma, or a solution? I don't know. The e-learning in Oman is to an extent is a solution, but it to an extent is also represents some kind of a challenge to both the teachers, instructors, professors, and students, as well as administrators, especially in the ministries of higher education and education.
Okay.
One big problem was raised up today by our dean. He said, in addition to the internet problems that we may get with the students, you need means that's he's asking us, the instructors, to be creative in terms of infusing and encouraging students to become more interactive, because he said what's happening now, especially if we take the gender issue, this cultural issue that we have, you will find, as you finding now, that none of the students will talk, and then the instructional process will be more of rote learning kind of stuff. You talk, they listen, and no interaction, no take and give business. So what do you suggest for us, especially in these societies, like the Gulf societies, Arab societies, with this gender problem, to solve or to overcome this situation?
Okay. Well, sometimes they can be asked to work as a group, although not necessarily going to the front of the class. Okay, but they do things as a group. So you can create some kind of project based, like the things that I asked them to do. Like I'm not sure whether you heard me when I asked them to do all these multiple choice question and videos, and so they work as a group. And you can leverage a lot on technology, where you can use all these timeline softwares where they can upload content, which you can see them. Then slowly, maybe someone can start talking. Maybe the rest will see the others talking. Maybe they can also participate. Okay, talking is not long. You don't want them to talk for 10 minutes. You only want them to say a summary in 30 seconds or 1 minute. 1 minute is a long time, you know. 1 minute is a long time if you actually talk. It's a long time for the students. For us, 3 hours is not enough. Okay. But you just want them to start talking, and maybe not necessarily talking in the class. Do the video and send the video. We just want them to practice talking rather than not talking at all. So you ease them a little bit into the habit of talking, preparing. That's why I say you can, from my slide, I show you, you can use the movie maker. Gender issue means what, Prof? I'm not sure. Are they different male, female in the same class? Or, what's the meaning of gender issue here? Prof, you, Raja, you said gender.
Specific. Yeah, that's what I meant. Because we have girls do not like to interact when boys are there. You know, it's you know, more into it's more embedded in the Islamic kind of, you know, thinking that you know, people girls are still like shying to speak. Maybe boys also shying to speak when girls are around. So it's like, you know, because they are the first or the second year of, you know, and they are still young. That's where it comes the issue, that you need to encourage them to interact, but at the same time, I faced that when I started teaching in 1987, at the very beginning of the university. It was face to face, but the class was like a grave. Nobody is speaking. Nobody wants. Yeah. So it's now the same, but it's online. Maybe we need time to accommodate or to adapt to this situation till maybe we overcome it. Maybe. I mean, I'm thinking of these solutions, but I thought maybe if we think aloud, we may come with some new things, new or creative solutions.
Yeah. Okay, Prof. This is my take, because I had a girl in class who wears the niqab. You know, you can see her eyes. And no words spoken. So what I did, in the class, well, I think Malaysia makes boys and girls are probably quite not so difficult. So one session, I asked everyone to prepare a tazkirah. You know tazkirah? Yeah. So everybody must say something.
Yes, you mean the religious one?
Yeah. Anything, anything that they can share that's beneficial. And I was surprised that girl actually spoke. You know, because everybody else stood up, only spoke for about 30 seconds. Just very simple, very short hadith or some advice from their father, from mother, or something that they learned. And so just a very short. So everybody just kind of stood up, speak for 30 seconds, 1 minute, and she actually got up and spoke because everybody was also doing it, you know. And also, I think what I also learned the way I do it is that there are 50 ways to say no, 50 ways to say yes. They must be exposed to this, you know, although there are many ways to say yes and to say no without offending or violating any gender issues. You know, these are the kind of skills that must be embedded to them, because eventually they have to go out into the outside world. You must impress upon them, or you can do some simulation, you know, for those who are willing. At least they can see. Another way is you can teach by using some videos, you know, because eventually they have to come face to face with some situation, so they must know how to deal with it. So this is the kind of maybe small steps that we can make in terms of so that we don't, you know, we don't violate any rules, or, you know, and anyone's honor or something. So I think there are many ways of doing it. So we just have to, as I think lecturers, we have to impart some difficult male comment each other in presence of other. Yeah, there are many ways of commenting in a way that does not offend anybody, you know. So I think this is the kind of skills that they need to learn, because this is the skill that they will also use eventually from, or you can ask the students, how do you like to do this? What is most comfortable to you? You can also ask the student to give some suggestions. Okay, so maybe they are more comfortable. Sometimes we just think we know what they want. Maybe we should ask them, maybe what do you think we can do? You know, some small steps. I don't know. I mean, I don't have an answer, but I think that's what I have done in a small way, asking them to give some small tazkirah and blah, blah, blah. In fact, in my class, I asked them, are you working? No, we're not working. I say, yes, well, you're working. What's your job? What do you think the answer? You have no job. I say, you're wrong. Your job is to be a student. So, my class, so your job, so you must dress like going to work. So my class, they have to dress like they go to work. The female, very simple. For the male, they have to wear tie, proper shoes, and proper, like coming to work. So my class, they all sit down like the executive. So because that's their work. So they must be. I assure you, it has some impact on the way they dress. That you know. I think so. I don't know. I can't prove it. But I think, you know, if you dress shabbily and you dress nicely, I think it has some effect and gives some value to your actual coming to class and learning something. You think that you're going to work and learning something. You know, I don't know. I have no proof of that. But well, they do it willingly. It looks very nice. Everybody come very dressed with some with also coat and tie and black shoes. You know, they don't come with slippers and you know. You can try it. Because this is the kind of thing. No issue is fine, but you must impress upon them the fact that, you know, they are coming to seek knowledge, so they should give knowledge some stature. You should, even if you want to pray, you have to wear nice clothes, some nice perfume. You know, you want to please the Almighty. You don't wear like you go out to the supermarket. So you give value to knowledge that, you know, you have some. You know, if you go and meet an ulama, you must also have some respect. You have to respect some knowledge. So put it in that way. So it becomes you know, I don't know. I try so many things, but I think this wearing this formal wear is, I think it helped them a little bit. In fact, one student, I'm not sure, I remember his name. He actually passed my course. He actually did very well in my course, and I teach mathematical physics. You know, it's not an easy subject, but you know, I was surprised. So we are good friends now. Anyway, yeah, maybe we can hear from the student.
We are now 5:45, and I scheduled the class until 5:45. Anybody has any question to ask Prof Rozhan? Maybe we can.
If they want, you can give them my email. They can email to me. I will answer, inshallah, no problem.
Okay, wonderful. Any last word from you, Prof? Anything that you want to, because we really are struggling, because
okay. I have my broken arm concept. My broken arm concept. Okay. What happens if you break your right arm? This is my favorite question. What happens if you break your right arm? What do you do? Simple question.
Go see a doctor.
Yalah, your arm is still broken, but you have to go home and do stuff at home. The doctor give you a sling only, then you're still what do you do?
Well, you definitely have to adapt to do the way you do things to be different.
You have to learn to use your left arm. Okay, after 3 months, you have to learn to do your left arm. Okay, so now this is my experience with my brother-in-law. He broke his right arm. So he was doing everything with his left arm. He could write as good as his right arm. He could eat as good as his right arm. Hand. So what do you get after 3 months when your right arm is cured?
Ambidextrous.
You get 2 right arms. Which means to say, you have acquired a new skill. You have acquired an extra kind of capability. So use this situation now to be exploratory, to adapt, to do a new thing, because you will find that it will enrich you more. Because if this thing did not happen, if you did not break your right arm, you will not bother to use your left arm to do something new. Now, this situation gives you a lot of time. You are confined from home. You got time, man. You don't have to waste time driving to go to McDonald's. McDonald's come to you. You save half an hour or 1 hour already. I used to take 2 hours drive train to go to UM, 2 hours to come back. 4 hours I save every day. You know, you have a lot of time to do a lot of exploration, time to do a lot of new things. You have time to, for the lecturers, time to kind of redesign, upgrade a little bit your content, the resources. So now I think at the end of the day, we have new things, new knowledge, new ways that we can do. This is the broken arm concept. So now I think this. I don't like the word disruption. I don't think anything is disrupted, because it's just going forward. Why do you want to remain the same? Even you know, time to do a lot of thinking as a group or as individually. Time to explore the internet. Time to repair some old notes, make it better. Now there's so many easy things, software to do, so many design templates. So I'm sure something good can come out of this. So that's my take on it. Just be positive about it, because you there's no turning back. All you have to do is go forward and make full use of whatever thousands of tools available for you. So just do it slowly. Even if you change a little bit slowly every week. Also after 50 weeks, you got 50 new stuff. 1 week, one small thing. 50 weeks? How many months already we lockdown? 6 months?
6 months, yeah. We should have got 6 new courses now.
Long time, 6 months. You should have done something now after 6 months. Don't tell me you got nothing after 6 months. Come on.
We are doing things, and we're doing other things too.
I'm not doing. I'm saying. I mean, if you were to review 6 months of your life, something you can do. Whether you memorize more surah or something. I don't know. But at least there should be something. Yeah. 6 months, no.
Yes.
Okay. I think we just benefit. We can only benefit from this situation. Actually, inshallah.
Thank you so much. Anybody else wants to say any last word? Last question?
Don't worry about it. Just email me.
Okay, all right.
Thank you, Professor Rozhan, and I wish to seeing you soon in Oman, inshallah. Join Raja Mazna, Wan Fauzi, and Abdul Halim, and inshallah you are gonna be the fourth in the list to join, inshallah. So are you willing to come now to Oman?
But now we cannot travel. After travel, no problem.
You can travel in October, maybe once the Oman Air flight goes to Malaysia.
You need permission to go out. You cannot go out. You
Yes, you need permission.
Nobody leaves the country,
Okay.
Because normally I go to Melbourne about 3 times a year to see. I have 2 daughters in Melbourne. One is studying, one. Now they cannot come back. I also cannot go. So we just have to Skype every day. Never mind.
No, we resume flying today. So the airport is reopened today.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Well, okay.
Sorry, in 3 days. In 3 days.
In 3 days, on the 1st October. All right.
We plan for something, inshallah. Don't worry.
We pray for something. Thank you so much, Prof Rozhan. I think you have enlightened me, especially because I keep feeling like an imposter here, trying to I've never done it before. I mean, it's like the first time for all of us here in Malaysia. So I was teaching.
I think it's very interesting time now, actually. Very interesting time, actually.
Very interesting. We are learning as much as we can. It's like
and every morning there's too many every morning there's too many live shows to follow. You can only do one at a time.
And I've attended so many webinars on how to teach. That's what I've been doing the last 6 months. A lot.
Only 200 ringgit now conferences. Dulu 1,000, now 200 ringgit.
And the conferences, online conferences, a lot of free online conferences. Thank you so much, Prof Rozhan, and I really appreciate that, and I'm sure that the students also appreciate your input very much, and I'll make sure that this will go into their reflection and some of the time to do it will be done. And thank you, Prof Ali, session, and thank you, Prof Audrey. Thank you, Halim. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Aslum, my master student, and who else is there? And all the students from both classes. Some of them are in both classes, and some. So thank you so much. It has been a very enjoyable session, and I have recorded this session, and I will send to everyone if you want.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank
you. Waalaikumsalam.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Thank you.